Welcome everyone, Costin here with a new campaign guide for Total War Warhammer 3. Immortal Empire is going to be playing as Imrik. He certainly has a harsh campaign start. I wouldn't say it's particularly hard, it can just be very slow as a campaign start. So I'm going to start with taking Imrik and attacking the dwarves. There are no diplomatic relations. I can do research, though I can also potentially gain a banner or an ancillary that gives me extra research if I fight battles. Now, here are some of the things you should know when you are playing this particular campaign. Now, I start within reach of Bone Gulch and Ashridge Mountain. I could take Ashridge. It is level 2 as a settlement, but if I took it, I would be still left dealing with this Helheim army. Now, the problem for Imrik, let me explain what the issue is for Imrik. He's gonna get on turn 2, and that might have been just a freeze, right? That was just a freeze. But he's gonna get on turn 2, so not turn 1, but turn 2, a quest to occupy, raise, sack 6 different settlements. So you might think, oh, you have to get 6 different settlements. You start with 2 available, Bone Gulch if you don't take a turn 1. You start with 2 in your original province. Then there's a bunch of settlements around you. However, you don't necessarily want to expand over here because there are certainly potential problems that can come from that. So you should look to cheese it in some way, shape, or form in order to get those 6 elements. The reward for this is confederating with Caledor. Now, why is that so important? Well, confederating with Caledor will give you the control of the province of Caledor, though whether or not it's still intact by that point when Noctilus could very well wipe it out. He's certainly going to wipe out this initial army, and he's going to take some territory. Whether or not Caledor is there after that stage remains to be seen. Likely the Volzanvil will still be there, but Tor, Safai, not necessarily. So that is going to be an issue. But the benefit of confederating with Caledor is it gives you line of sight and contact with all of the Elven factions, or the vast majority of them. Actually, I think it is going to be all of them, including Crix and Kotik, Torivres, etc. It will give you the ability to trade. Now, early game, not so much late game, but early game, high elves are heavily dependent on trade. This is one of the main issues that Imrik has always had in every campaign. So you need to confederate with Caledor. Now, the issue he had in Mortal Empires is that you couldn't trade until you took a port on the west coast of the Badlands. Now, you can trade over here from your starting region. That is available. But the problem, of course, is you need to do that quest. And you want to do it as quickly as possible. But I'll get into that. Once I've destroyed this army over here of Klein Helheim. This is going to be their principal army. I'm not going to allow them to recruit any others, pretty much. Or they might recruit one, but it's just going to have a hero. Now, they do have grudge throwers, so I'm going to use Imrik over here so I can take less damage. I'm going to pull back. I'm not quite certain about the range of the grudge throwers, but I am going to take these guys, position them here, get the dragon princes back, and I am going to just take my dragon, my heroes, and Imrik himself to advance. Now, the grudge throwers will advance, but the goal is to hit them pretty hard. Also, Imrik has a lance that does more fire damage. Now, if there is a bad habit I personally do have, it is this. I do tend to be too conservative with my infantry, even when I absolutely shouldn't. So let's get with Imrik in that situation. Let's get that charge bonus, and let's use some breaths. Now the dragon is still the dragon will breathe some fire, and then it's going to go down. The mage is going to start doing some damage, and we are going to go after quarrelers quarrelers and the grudge thrower. Try and take it out, get the dragon out of there, keep charging in. Those spearmen are going to take some damage, but it's not necessarily going to be too important right now. The mage, they're all clumped on Imrik. That's exactly how I do want it in this situation, though I also don't want Imrik to take too much damage. So I'm gonna send these fellows over here and get the dragon to breathe some more fire. They're all clumped together. That is great to see something like that, because it means when I do breathe fire, they're all going to take a lot of damage. Or some of them will take a lot of damage. Okay. And let's hit these guys. Land here. Don't necessarily be afraid of having your spearmen take damage. It's more important that Imrik actually doesn't take damage, because he is one of the main things you actually want to keep intact in the early game battles. Now, he's kind of a bit stuck, and he's going to take a lot of damage as a result of that, but it's still a pretty good situation over here, and I might be able to get him out if I am careful over here. Okay, let's get some charges in the back over there. Get Imrik out if I can. The dragon, yep, he's out. Good. Let's do another breath attack on these guys, and then get the fireball attack as well. Get the lance strike, star lance, and get the fireball to shoot again. Because with that star lance attack, he is ensuring, like, I've hit these guys from behind with even my spearmen, and that's causing morale issues across the board to end up occurring. And I can certainly take advantage of this situation to basically rout all of them. The more decisive the victory in a battle, the better off you will be. Okay, let's get Imrik. Let's try and kill him, actually. Okay, we wiped those guys out. Let's try and get him. Some damage. He's half HP, but this is it is a decent situation. Okay, close victory, not decisive, sadly enough, but it's good. Lost some men, but it's again a fine situation. Alright, we win. I could go for the replenishment. Could be nice to have actually, or I can get that one influencer. That would just be 5 influencer. Instead, I'm just gonna go for the replenishment in this situation, that extra replenishment. Now, I am going to recruit a lord over here. Let's see what we have available. She gets minus 10 physical resistance. I'm gonna look at the lore of metal. Just look at something that might be a bit useful. Like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to move Imrik in this stance, so we can get some replenishment, get Room Archer for her, get another rank on the Fireball, and just get 2 archers. And start getting military advancement. Good. I'm not going to upgrade the barracks in my starting region just yet. In fact, I'll probably get rid of that barracks. I do need growth buildings and other buildings there as well. The default archers you can recruit from the main settlement building are going to be good enough. Though a couple of archers with light armor while you still have it. Like, don't throw it away on turn 1. Get a couple of archers with light armor. They will help you out in the longer term. especially as you're dealing with Skaven. Though I'll get into the Skaven situation when we get there. For now, the priority is confederating Caledor. Now, I get this quest. This is why I put off on fighting that battle. I'm going to get this building. Normally, I would, for a lot of lords, I would actually get this one just to get the noble. Noble is useful to have in a lot of ways. But I'm going to send her there. And he is going to take that settlement. Now, something worth mentioning. Right, so these units are all that I'm going to get for the time being. Okay, good. Now, Clan Helheim will get a lord to the north. We'll get a lord to the north in their mountains. And I'm going to take advantage of that situation. And the way the quest works is, from what I've been told, if you do different actions when you're attacking a settlement, like I sack it this turn, then next turn I'll use the lord that's nearby to occupy it, and I'll get 2 counts from the 6 count there. I think they should just change the Caledor situation to giving you the Confederation when you just occupy your initial province, because right now that's what the player base is doing, and we're just cheesing the crap out of the game, and it isn't a great thing. Okay, I feel in terms of how the game is being played right now, it's not good design, honestly. Regardless, she's going to come on. Gosh, wait. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to advance. I'm not going to waste time here taking damage for no reason. Just going to try and sort that out. Alright, that's a decent enough position, actually, right there. Now, I'm going to take my dragon to hit that. I'm actually going to take Imrik, the mage, the archers, all advancing, the dragon princes, all to advance further. And I'm going to get Imrik to hit those miners hard in the face. The goal is to take out the miners before they can use their blasting charges. And that is precisely what I am intending to do. I'm gonna take down that tower. Now, those miners are deceptive about their strengths versus weaknesses. They can actually be a lot stronger than one might give them credit for. Now, I'm waiting for those warriors to advance, so I can do something like this. And just hit them, start capturing this, take out those miners with blasting charges. Reinforcements should be arriving in just a moment. Even if they're going to arrive tired. Gonna move these spearmen ahead. And I'm just gonna charge through those guys over there. And get the dragon princes to deploy. The archers have done their like that unit is wiped out, which means I can bring my units forward. They're gonna come in 20 seconds. That's good. Move that one forward. We got more miners coming in. However, the Star Lance is almost ready. Yeah, if only we could get that, get Imrik out. The Phoenix rises. Okay. Moving out. I will claim it's fine to take some damage with her, by the way. Eradicate them. Alright, so Imrik is going to hit them there. Dragon Princes should break through there. And I'm going to get these archers to advance over here.
Glorious challenge.
Just a bunch of miners. All just a bunch of miners.
We will obey. Prince Imrik.
Another fireball. Hit them with another fireball. Get Imrik out.
For all Caledor. Asa, advance.
And start breaking those guys apart.
Archers. Prince
And they're
Imrik.
almost broken, and there's still one unit of dwarf warriors to contend with. Just gonna move here, get that sorted out.
Dragon Princes.
Dragon Princes will follow there.
Son. As you say, we will obey. Ancestors.
And she's gonna move ahead.
Glory is mine. Crown Prince moving.
Okay, so Imrik is going to hit these guys with the Star Lance to make them more vulnerable to fire, so that the dragon can
My power is yours.
hit them with the breath attack.
Prince ascend.
Also, it's just nice to get that lovely charge bonus, right?
Blessed by all.
Okay.
Archers.
It would be the more ideal if they were clumped together against him, but yeah, that is essentially the battle. But we're not finished. Why let the dwarves live? And that is a decisive victory. Now I'm going to sack the settlement, and by sacking it, that's gonna fulfill one, and then I'll take a next turn with another lord. That's gonna be 2. You can get 4 in your initial province, like 4 to 4 the count of your objective. By the way, I am gonna be very curious, and I'm gonna pay attention to this. I'm curious to see if it counts for something like this.
Follow the dragon.
Gonna get these 2, and going to get Dragon Horn for that one, and next turn we attack with her. Got some money, nothing too significant, but got some money. But yeah, I'm curious if it counts to her. Like, I'm curious if it's just the quest bugged, or it's the game bugged, or something like that. If they fix it, I do hope they change it, because Imrik's campaign start is just plain old bullshit. By the way, a point worth making is that if you're attacking a settlement like I am about to do so now, and that settlement, right, so Clan Helmheim is moving an army towards the fortress of Varag. He's gonna recruit some units. I'm not at all concerned about that situation though. So anyway, she's so I've got a count of 1, and we're just gonna occupy it. Now some people would argue that one of the things you can do is loot and occupy it, then abandon the settlement, then resettle it. I admit there's certain merits to that. I will readily admit that. I am, however, not too fond of that particular strategy. Either way, we're gonna get another hero campaign line of sight. These 2 are bad in different ways, a lot of different ways. She's okay like that. So she's gonna go and occupy that. She is going to move with Imrik. Now I'm not gonna keep her. That research rate does genuinely hurt. It doesn't matter right now, but it will matter later on.
Strategy beyond compare.
And I'm going to move her to actually occupy the Ash Ridge Mountains. Okay, so that counts to 2. That also counts to 2. Well, if you want to have an easier time with fulfilling your campaign objectives, which honestly can be annoying, just the sheer number of settlements, that is a way to cheese the system in a certain sense.
The Oath Keeper.
Okie dokie.
Magic's
Now I could also do
unleashed.
something else here. I could get some global recruitment, but obviously it's not gonna change all that much, and I just end up spending a lot of money. Alright, so Imrik is here. He's gonna recruit some units. She's going to move here to resettle that cell. And that will add up to 5, right? So that's gonna all add up to 5. How do I get the 6th? The 6th will be gained by going after the orcs. Plain simple, pretty easy to understand. Now he might have some more units. That's obviously gonna create certain issues in my plan, so to speak. But I do have some money.
Astral Princess. Duty
So
calls.
she's gonna go here. He is going to go directly for a settlement and sack it. Though first I am going to want to... Like, this would be a valiant defeat, but despite the quarrelers and the garrison, it's a level 2 settlement. I think level 2 settlements act in an interesting way, because I think if I sack it and then occupy it, even with Imrik,
Weaver of spells.
it's going to
True
count.
magic guides me.
Don't ask me why. I don't quite understand the logic of it myself necessarily, but yeah, I
serve
think
the
it would
Phoenix
count.
King.
Alright, so no diplomatic options, no one particularly likes you, and when you have a campaign where from the very start of it, no one particularly likes you, that can be... Now that guy is a rune lord, so he's going to have a rune, obviously, but it's not going to be the AoE one. If it was the AoE one, this would be significantly harsher as a battle. I do need to be mindful of the quarrelers. They can do a lot of damage, and I need to be mindful of the dwarves with the blasting charges. Yeah, it's only once that they get to throw them. Maybe actually get them to use that pretty quickly. Now, interestingly, this has a layout that's Skaven for whatever reason. I'm not entirely certain that this is supposed to be a dwarven settlement layout, at least from my perspective. I mean, the structures are dwarven, but I do genuinely believe that they didn't, that
Understood.
the settlement type that, like, that there's obviously different settlement types, but yeah, this very much feels like this is very much like a Skaven settlement layout. It's actually one of the worst to assault with a ranged army. It's not exactly easy to defend either with a ranged army.
We will obey.
You may not believe that. But anyway, so Imrik, mage. I'm going to rely on Imrik. He's going to take some damage, of course. Get the spearman ahead. Now I am going to take down... I'm going to try and do as much as I can here. So I'm going to send Imrik into the fray as quickly as possible. Get the mage. If I can get a good burning head on these guys, that will also help me a great deal. That's a barricade.
Glory is mine. Loyal.
And we want to wipe out as much of the enemy army as we possibly can in a single go.
Behold the majestic.
Alright, so get Imrik stuck in. Yep, there's the quarrelers. Get the dragon to go after them. Get the mage to start casting the burning head, like so. The dragon will also do a breath. And then we'll land over there.
The crown prince ascends. For all
And as you can
Caledor.
see, that burning head was incredibly effective at doing a lot of damage very, very quickly. They've taken some damage, they'll continue to take some damage until I land this dragon and really take them out.
Acknowledged. Apace.
But these miners are not going to stand up to a full-blown dragon. Move the hero here. Don't be afraid to take damage with her. Generally in battles you would keep her safe, but in this situation it's fine to take damage. It's better for her to take damage in this situation than it is for Imrik to take damage, actually. Alright, let's go do some more damage over there. The dragon will continue pursuing those quarrelers. There's some towers, of course. There's one tower that's going to be built right there. Move the archers ahead. Get her stuck in melee, whatever.
Prince Imrik.
Make her useful. Let me use the dragon horn once, just giving him that melee attack bonus. Move the dragon princes behind, get the fireball up these guys, and that is a pretty sizable portion of their army already taken out. I'm going to move the archers ahead and get her to move ahead as well, get her to engage. Use the archers there. Be mindful. That dragon being fought by miners is not a good idea. So we're just gonna breathe fire on them.
Dragon Prince.
And keep the advance up. Gonna take down that tower with the archers. Yes, archers are pretty good at taking down towers. Don't use artillery to take down towers. It's generally something that takes more time to do so. Get Imrik to charge with the Star Lance. They're breaking apart. The tower is gone. And move with the archers ahead. Not many winds of magic left, sadly enough. But we're fine as is. Alright, those dwarves, they're broken. Okay, good.
Prince Imrik.
Alright, I think I should try and pull them back. Okay. Get that dragon to commit there. Get the spearmen. Get these guys to deploy here so they can keep those miners under control.
Prince Imrik.
He's a lot more durable than you might believe. Alright, dwarf warriors coming in.
We will obey. Dragon Princes.
And then we get to charge, solid charge over there.
It will be done.
Use the dragon horn, get these guys to deploy, pull back a bit, just keep hitting, getting units pinned down.
Prince Imrik.
Get Imrik in this. There's still a matter of the enemy hero, the enemy lord, but he's like, if I can wipe this out, that enemy lord is not going to be a big problem anyway.
Prince Imrik. Fury of the Forge God. Archers.
Alright, we got the quarrelers holding a barricade, gonna move more archers there.
Prince Imrik. Sent by the Forge.
And move more units ahead. Those dwarf warriors are pulling out.
Dragon Princes. Acknowledged.
And we got the garrison leader on that side. Right. Okay, the dragon will go after them. Imrik and the mage and etc. will follow. And we're gonna hit those quarrelers. I kind of wish I had another ability usage. It would actually be really, really nice to have in this kind of situation. Yeah, I don't like the constant barricades.
Dragon Prince.
The tower defense situation. Making your siege battles the tower defense games, and I love tower defense games, don't get me wrong on this. I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh yeah, screw tower defense games. No, tower defense games are awesome. It's just not awesome in a total war game. The survival battle aspect is one thing. There it makes sense given the nature of it, but yeah. Or I guess I feel like there should be more supplies at the beginning of a battle, and they should replenish significantly slower. And maybe different supplies for different things, like a different currency to use when you are fighting a battle, when you're building a barricade versus building a tower. But like, you can only really construct 1 tower, 2 towers, and 1 or 2 barricades at the start of the battle, as opposed to this constant bloody ping pong.
Ready.
Dragon princes.
Alright, miners taken out there. Dragon is killing the quarrelers. Units are advancing. They're breaking.
Dragon princes. It shall be done.
Hit the garrison leader. Hit the rune lord. And keep the advance up. Okay, they're hitting them from behind. There we go. And that is a victory. Minor unit losses, some damage on Imrik and the dragon, but minor losses over. In the game, there's called it a minor defeat, a valiant defeat. Sorry, laughable.
They cannot remain afloat. Kissed by the moon.
High Elven Archmage.
Alright, I will have enough next turn to take that settlement and then use this army, use her to occupy that particular settlement. I'm gonna give him Bowmaster because he's gonna use a lot of bowmen, and her, she's gonna get Kindle Flame. It'll be nice to have. But it does get, like, it goes to show you, most of the time when you're playing a Legendary Lord in a campaign, it's turn 4, you're a far higher rank. Imrik is awful in that respect. The elves do have a slower start, but it's generally fine because you're not dealing, you can set up good trade agreements, you can boost your economy. As Tyrion, you can maintain, I would be able to maintain a full stack of troops by this point. Hell, pretty much any Elven Legendary Lord. Elfarian, even Elfarian. Why is it that Elfarian gets 25,000 gold on turn 1 if he doesn't confederate with Caledor, with Ivres, whereas you get the option, and he starts with Ivres, so you can just turn it down. But you personally,
the dragon shall wake.
Weaver of spells. They cannot withstand.
don't get squat. You actually have to spend influence to. That's the ridiculous aspect there, as I see it. You have to spend influence to be able. I'm gonna get growth to be able to confederate with Caledor. A bit of a difference. Some things do need to be changed in some way, I feel. Alright, she's gonna get that. I mean, she's useful. Now, if I look at the situation, 4 out of 5. Colonize. Dismiss. Abandon. Get 2 units over there. And next turn, after Imrik has done his thing, next turn I will be getting rid of that. Now I can get this particular right. I will activate it.
Another triumph for the dragon.
And we're gonna move north to deal with the Darkhold. I'm still gonna keep her for a couple more turns, just so she can deliver troops to Imrik. I could dismiss her, but I also do want to recruit more archers for Imrik's army, so you can actually get the full stack. You're gonna need a full stack when you're dealing with Treach Craventail. He might be the worst legendary, one of the worst legendary lords in the entire game. However, Skaven do have a nasty habit when you're playing on legendary in particular. On lower difficulties, this is a much easier start, but on legendary, the problem is this. They obviously get significant bonuses. That's going to affect my growth in a pretty negative way. Okay, so I'm going to abandon this. Imrik is going to force march all the way here, and he's just going to straight up loot and occupy the settlement. She's going to move here, and she's going to recruit 2 units of archers. Now, if I were to recruit archers with light armor, I wouldn't get to keep them. Now, I'm going to... No, not going to set up anything there. Trade, maybe. Though, they do sit on... Pig barter does sit at the major crossroads of trade. So if you can take pig barter, that's a great situation. Now, the orcs here that controlled the Darkhold are the initial rival for Craventail. Craventail is supposed to wipe them out very easily. He does take his sweet time. There are several problems that you might imagine come out of this. A couple of things I can do. I could set up an ambush for Craventail. There's downsides to that, of course. Like, I could decide not to take this. He does have an army, so Craventail hasn't even moved on that northern settlement. Alright. This would be a Pyrrhic victory, but I lose pretty much everything that I own. That's not the kind of victory I... Is just a garrison force. Now, I'm going to be careful here. I'm probably going to rely on... I'm going to rely on my dragon and dragon princes and Imrik here in this particular battle less. It's just a bunch of goblins and some boys. Only 2 units of goblin archers. I relied heavily on Imrik with the dwarves because they either had blasting charges, which if they got in range of my archers and threw that, that was going to hurt. Or they had quarrelers, which can hurt a lot. Goblin archers, however, don't really hurt all that much. The wolves might charge, but I'll just keep some units close enough. Like, I'll move them close enough. Alright. So it seems the strategy the AI uses in these kind of sieges, by the way. Like, Creative Assembly just hasn't buffed melee in this. They've mega buffed melee armies. When it comes to this kind of stuff. The reason is, well, there might be a couple of reasons, I imagine. You know, something to do with the paid DLC that came out recently that features melee-focused armies. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. I mean, we know Creative Assembly does that kind of behavior where they introduce paid power behind the DLC paywall. You can't blame them for it necessarily. They are a company. They're trying to make money, right? But we do know how things happen. Though I am glad they've decided to buff melee armies. Though I really do hate the siege layout. I admit.
Behold the majestic.
Okay. I might use the dragon to just do some breaths. I'm not gonna use it in melee though. Right, that's the garrison leader.
Locating archers.
That's 2 units, 3 units.
Orders received. To the fray.
Take down the tower so I'm taking less damage. Just slow it down.
It will be done. Archers.
Move the mage ahead.
Understood. Orders received.
Move 2 archers at a time.
We go. I will claim it.
Get the dragon here.
Archers. Asur, move. As you say.
Okay, those archers have done their job. Just move them ahead.
By your command. Asur, forward. By your command.
Ulfwan Mage.
That's just some units of goblins.
We
Nothing
will
too
obey.
concerning yet.
Apace. Asur, advance. Can I be praised? For
Give them a
duty.
little shove to push them over the edge there,
Apace.
so to speak.
The greater good. Going abroad.
Moving out.
Just some goblins. Like, a charge will do a lot of morale loss.
It will be done.
You can understand by how much I'm spending in battles how I view this campaign start. I hate battles right now in Total War. It's a point I've made in other videos, but yeah, I don't like where the battles are right now in Total War. They're just too much bullshit cheese.
Setting forth.
They're not fun a lot of the times. There's very few interesting battles. Most of the time, can you out-cheese your enemy? Now, some people would argue, oh, play without cheese. It's like, yeah, I don't... It doesn't make it harder, it just makes it frustrating, I guess. And besides, I don't think basic positioning of your armies on a map should count as cheese. I think that's
Swiftly.
basic, you know, tactics in a video game. Now, that tower is not tied to...
As you say. Seal.
to that particular point. Alright, so we got more orcs.
Imrik. Without fail. With valor. Archers. Acknowledged.
Okay,
Apace. Following orders.
now there's archers over
Loyal.
there. And we're gonna go and deal with them.
Forward.
Oh, that's bullshit. Alright, so we got the Goblin Wolf Riders over on that side.
Orders received.
And
We
I am
go.
just going to, well, just play at this particular speed, I think. It's fine. He's gonna go deal with the Wolf Riders. They're gonna go deal with this unit of Orc Boys. He's just sleeping. I believe I outranged these guys. Orc Boys. So I'm able to shoot when they're not. Imrik is actually just gonna go deal with those goblin archers. Army losses are gonna kick in soon. There. I think that's it, yep. Alright, we won. Now, if Craventail was closer here in this situation, what I would do is I would just sack the settlement, he would come closer, and if he's in Force March, even better. I don't want to fight Craventail up north, I really don't. I think the best option for me is to position Imrik in an ambush stance outside of the settlement. I won't be able to do it this turn, but next turn I will be able to. And then declare war on Craventail and let him come to me. He might do so with 1 stack, with 2 stacks. The Skaven AI, any Skaven AI, it doesn't matter if we're talking legendary lords or minor factions, they all do pretty much the same thing. Okay, so the Confederation is available. I got a lot of influence for complete the quest. I am going to form the Confederation. You can do the Elven Conflict one. You can refuse it. Do favors abound. You're gonna want that. Now, there is of course going to be a downside in all of this. I'm going to dismiss that. I got some structures. I got all of Caledor. Do I also get the Caledor army? Well, I get 2 Caledor armies. This is pretty decent, actually, what I did pick up here.
Guardian of the Phoenix Crown.
Look, if push comes to shove, And actually push will come to shove, but I can
At
get
your
some
service.
value out of this.
You may approach and make your request. A wise
I
course.
can get a lot of value out of this.
Alariel's I am the heir of
Going to
Venarian.
trade
I bid
with
you
Tyrion.
welcome very well.
Defender of the Everqueen, your word shall reach the Phoenix throne. Very well.
What?
Still don't have sight on Alariel, but I should be able to soon.
Primed for action.
Asur Prince. Starting out.
Alright, so we're gonna...
Blood kiss of the seas.
Can I win that one?
Unwise.
As
Ulfuan Prince.
an excellent question.
Sea knows my fate.
No mercy.
Hold on. Let's ask them
I agree. Welcome. What would you have the Asur do?
to pay me for it. No. Just joining the war, give me 500. And there is a mountain of gold that you are going to need. Now, I sincerely do not believe I can beat Count Noctilus in a fair fight like this. I can weaken him, but that's not what's important here. If I weaken this army of Count Noctilus, he's got a bunch of zombie pirates, gunnery, mob, handguns. He's got a bunch of regular zombie pirates, necros, pecs. Okay, just have to resolve it. Lose it. Yes, lose it. Because he's gonna take some significant damage, and while he will replenish quite a bit of that, it will potentially give them the space they need.
Greetings.
Now,
The Phoenix Court will hear
we're
your
going
words.
to make some really good deals with
As you
Tyrion,
say.
who has got mountains and mountains of gold. I do mean literal mountains.
Understood.
Caledor is not worth crap at the start.
Welcome. What brings you here?
So there's the mountains of gold. It's still annoying because, yeah, I mean, I guess you do provide something similar,
Master of Drakes.
but regardless,
High
I mean, I guess that's what Telfarion gets. Something similar to that, but yeah, it is a heck of a lot more annoying than the situation that Telfarion has to deal with. I am going to buff the Burning Head over here.
Prince of Caledor.
Now, there are 2 units coming in here
Magic in purest
from her, so it's not really worth it. I can build an outpost, though it's not worth doing that right now. Okay. So we can count Noctilus. They died bravely, heroically, whatever you want to call it. She's gonna be dismissed from service. She is horrible. Now, there might be some issues with the rebellion here. I'm cognizant of that. Actually, I'm gonna cancel this, destroying that, and getting more units. Another way I can view the situation here with Rictus is maybe I can get the peace treaty with the orcs there, position my army right next to that settlement so that when Snitch attacks it, I can intervene. Well, I'm not sure exactly who would I favor in that situation. Would I favor the orcs or would I favor Snitch?
Master of magic.
Dragon Rider. Speak up!
Weaver of spells.
Tell you what, for now,
The greatest.
I'm gonna put him in a camp
All
stance
demands we rest.
and give him that. those 2 archers, dismiss the useless mage, level this to 2, get more growth.
Trained by the white.
Loyalty is all.
Soon enough, I should be able to get regiments over now. Okay, so we're gonna get militia training. So now I've stabilized my economy. It isn't in the best possible spot, but it is decent. Now, Gorst has apparently wiped out a lot of that.
Undivided attention. Serving the
Alright,
gods.
get some deals with her. Safari doesn't like me. So right now I'm earning... It is a pitiful amount. It will grow the more I gain more settlements, the more I produce elven trinkets. So once I start getting these, like, the trade income will grow. It has helped stabilize my economy. It does say something about Imrik though, doesn't it? That he needs something like this to really stabilize his economy. I'm just gonna get another spearman unit because that was a bit too damage. Alright, so Snitch, like, Snitch can do incredibly well or he can do incredibly poorly. Now I do generally believe when he is going to attack Mount Greyhag, he's going to take it without any real issue. But when will that be? I don't know. But I do want to wipe out Craventail. That is a goal I do have. Now, if the orcs are foolish enough to come after me, well, they don't have the army to come after. So they're building forces over there. I moved so quickly on the Darkhold. Like, I think one of the things that ends up happening a lot of the times... Let me know what happens in your campaigns, but I think what happens more often than not is that that's gonna be a rebellion, isn't it? Yeah, let's stop collecting income here. What ended up happening here? So, oh, this Skaven corruption.
The dragon shall wake, seeking glory.
I could get another army, deal with rebellion. Let's see what lords are available here. Helen Harvey, Princess, campaign, line of sight, range, speed, loss, missile resistance. Though it's probably only her missile resistance, by the way. Archmages, anything decent? Dampener, Ludite, Ridiculed. Wait. That's a pretty okay one, honestly, because I generally don't recruit Phoenix units.
Strategy beyond compare.
Alright, so just wait. One more turn. Just wait. You want to get Craventail in a good position. You're not going to get many good opportunities in this, and you can lose everything in your campaign if you screw it up. So I'm waiting for him to attack with overwhelming force. The orcs might attack me. I'll be fine though. Like, this standoff is actually to my benefit. Yeah, there might be a rebellion soon enough. I'll crush it. The stronger the orcs get, the harder it will be for Craventail to get out of Crookback Mountain. Let them declare war on me. I have the army to deal with them. In fact, they might be a really good expansion spot. Okay.
The most gifted.
Shock right off!
Right, so soon enough this is going to dissipate. Let's see if I get any more diplomatic options. No trade, nothing.
Now!
Okay.
I bring
How strong is the garrison? I'm a bit concerned about this.
Enough for today.
We put him in ambush stance, actually. That will help out. Alright, get that to the next level. That might get Craventail to be more likely to want to emerge. Ooh, that is a nasty army. If they walk into... They might decide to walk into my ambush. It's because of all the Skaven corruption, I got it. If they do, I'll refuse to ambush them. I don't want to wipe them out. Though I don't think they're necessarily going to be so stupid as to do something like that. They might attack that settlement. Okay. There's a dragon there.
Archmage. The Archmage marches.
Imrik needs to be
For
the one.
Hoeth.
Nope. Okay. For Barons, I can get a lot of. Man, fuck. That's not a benefit. That's like, what the fuck is that? Okay, a bunch of elves that spawn.
The Star Lance strikes. I'll win. I always do. Lesser boons, fit only for sir.
20% worth save on all armies? Yeah, that is
Student of Teclis.
something else, I gotta say.
Even Archmages sleep.
Ball demands me rest.
Something completely different. She gets the flaming sword, and we wait. Even though I'm fighting Skaven, I don't want to do something
Welcome,
stupid
brothers.
here.
What do you wish to discuss?
Carve and grind.
Now, Gorst may take pick barter. Fighting Gorst is not on my priority list. I'm gonna lose some money here,
Never in doubt.
but I think it's fine to maintain this. Like, I can certainly keep this going for a while at least. And once those settlement buildings are finished,
The winds
gonna
are with
be
us.
even in a better position. Wasn't Mount Greyhag the place where... Yeah. What is going on here? It's a Mexican standoff, boys. No one's willing to do anything. It is hilarious, really. I mean, yeah. I'm not concerned. The Darkland orcs have enough things on their plate. Oh, okay.
I will lead the Asa.
That was not what I intended. Alright. While leaving this alive might seem like a bad idea, I guess I'll see what I'm dealing with here.
As you were.
Ready, ready.
Observe my skill.
High Mage.
Let's see if we can
Magic's
wipe them out.
unleashed.
The garrison will help. They'll run, and they'll still be in range of the garrison, so we'll wipe them out.
They will die.
HQ, Raventail.
The winds of magic guide us.
Imrik might be ambushed.
Perhaps their
I
master
might have
has.
miscalculated a bit there.
Shaper
It's
of
all good.
fates.
I'm not going to rebuild this though. I'm just gonna repair the main settlement building, get more public order over here, get more income. So
Greatest of the dragons,
Raventail,
kissed by the moon. Haste would be.
he's got 2 armies, 3 armies. He might ambush me. That would be pleasant. Alright, we're gonna get another rebellion, but I think I can keep this one under
Archmage.
control.
A new fortress of magic.
I'm just gonna dismantle this. I need to get some public orders for that. So he chose an interesting option, raising that settlement to the ground. Will he declare war against me now? Will he not declare war against me? If he's falling back to Crookback Mountain, I'll go after him. Like, he's taken out the orcs completely. Alright, so the Darkland orcs
Pure magic.
are the only ones
My pleasure.
Okay. There is.
Call me Lord Craventail.
It will benefit me. If I can take out this army. This may not be the strongest army he has, but taking out Craventail would absolutely be a major
It will be no contest at all.
a major benefit to me.
Join
Just
the
occupy it,
dragon.
it's already got enough issues in terms
Caledor
of
wakes.
public order.
You may look upon me.
And now we just wait. Took a bit of minor damage, but nothing too significant. Get evasion.
Hoef's disciple.
Just one unit for now.
Dragon shall wake.
Consume.
Duty. Be sure you do not waste.
Don't have enough money
warden
for
of-
anything.
Master, know that I have a pot ready for more. Carve what you want.
If they attack and wipe that army out, it's unpleasant, but it's manageable. Alright, public order is finally starting to recover over here.
Order must be maintained.
All the things I've done have helped. Now, this isn't how I imagined things would go, to be quite honest with you. I had hoped that he would take the settlement and just occupy it, but instantly. But this also works out in my favor. He might have lost a lot more than I assumed he did in fighting those armies. Though I still saw well, 2 stacks really there. Though the colonization obviously did hurt him as well. Don't know. I guess we'll find out. But regardless of how things play out in your campaign, the main goal is to get Craventail in a vulnerable position so you can take advantage of that, so you can exploit that. You want to do this largely because
Request has
yeah, I
been
don't
issued.
care about that. You want to do something like this. Right, that's a full beastman stack. We're gonna move
A simple
carefully
crusade.
here.
Triumph
Might be
lies this way.
ambushed.
They are nothing.
There's a full army stack, and I can just
These
auto-resolve
fools
it.
have no chance.
That is great.
They
That's a
will
lot of
rebuild
money,
Caledor's hall.
and I've taken this entire province.
The last phoenix.
That would be a lot of money to turn down. I may live to regret this.
A donation to the dragons.
If there's gonna be a rebellion anyway, might as well trigger it.
Dragon Prince.
Be the trigger. Now he still has a force somewhere,
Don't come closer. Look,
and I'm not so secure, if you will.
Do not expect. Prince.
Master.
Alariel the Everqueen.
In my situation.
Trained by the White Tower.
I tell him to bugger off, but I'm not sure that army there can do so. Can force it off the lawn, so to speak. He's got on level 11, but it's not 12. He can get dedicated to Vol, which will give me income from industry building 1%. It's not a lot, but it stacks. That's the thing about the elves. Their benefits do tend to work like that. Get more income over here. Start getting the public order back in check. I'll need more money. And we wait. I'm gonna set in both these provinces income from trade tariffs. This is where the scalability of these guys really kicks in. That isn't quite the fearsome rebellion that the original one was. That was a bit worse. He might be in Mount Silverspear. He likely is in Mount Silverspear, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not too terribly concerned about this. Take out the rebellion, but I will have to go Skaven hunting, if that makes sense. The Beastmen will be a drain on my economy, but they're unlikely to attack the settlement. They're just gonna loot and raid and all that kind of stuff. I could take them out, but it wouldn't really give me all that much. It would probably be far better if I recruited some units. There is a concern in that there is an enemy agent, though I don't think it's an army. Yeah. So take that one out.
No one does it better. The dragon's rage.
Till he is dead, we are not safe.
They must bow to Imrik. Pride of Ulster.
Besides, the campaign objective is to kill Raventail. Right, gonna cancel that.
I bring Azurian's
Get some units for him.
Imrik.
I've gotten pretty far, I admit. Sadly, I didn't quite get far enough, I feel.
Our buildings lie in ruins.
Alright, gonna wait a bit more.
Crown
He
Prince.
doesn't have any skills. I feel like the only army I was concerned was it's like clan rats and Skaven slaves. I'm not concerned by that. I am, however, concerned about two full stacks of Skaven, and I only have one stack. Now, Silverspear is going to be a level 1 settlement. It's not going to offer all that much. And you know what? I can take advantage of this to level him up. Or I can just raise it to the ground and deal the Skaven crushing blow. Or occupy it and then raise it to the ground. Then abandon it. Choices, choices, choices.
Warrior Supreme.
No, Gracia, never
Alright.
wrong.
The fact he's fled tells me all I need to know about
March
this.
for Caledor.
As a
Let
ridiculous
us
amount.
wake the dragons.
Baby, I shall walk stone.
Witness
I'm just gonna
my
position
stride.
him outside so I don't get any issues. And you know what?
Where's my manners? Come, come.
You must restore order.
I would be willing to trade it with the Darkland Orcs, but they're not quite willing to take it.
We likes an uninvited guest, don't we, lads?
I also don't know if I want to give Skarsnik that kind of foothold, honestly.
What is it? I am a warden, not a low boy. Duty is purpose.
Alright, finally, we get one of the bigger benefits that Imrik can get. You can recruit a noble in all provinces, and he can recruit 3 nobles. If I had gotten this earlier, it would have helped a lot. Spell resistance, Dragonheart, Ancient Pride. Get all this stuff. Which does mean,
City is
as
crumbling.
you guessed it, we can get nobles for every single army. Now, you don't want to go too crazy over here. There are some nobles that are just not going to be worth it.
Master of magic.
Bam. Get Hail Hearty. Get 2 nobles, 1 for each army. Take advantage of that situation. Stabilize public order across your empire.
Greatest of the
I know
Crown
I've
Princes.
sacrificed a lot, right? I would have been in a much much better situation had I fought a lot of these battles manually. I fought the battles manually early on because it wasn't necessary. I didn't fight these battles manually because it wasn't necessary for me to win, even despite all the units that I did lose. Some people are obviously always going to have issues with that. And I know this is not something people want to hear. Fuck the battles in Total War right now. They're the least interesting aspect. Like, I like the campaign. I like the campaign mechanics, but fuck the battles. Like, 95% of them are just garbage battles. The quest battles are awful. The settlement battles are awful. The field battles are awful. And it's kind of sad for me to say, but yeah, that's where I stand on Total War. I like the campaign. I do like a lot of things about the campaign. The way it structures and all that. And I've actually had an enormous amount of fun playing the campaign.
For all Oswan.
That's an interesting thing. Oh, well, he was in another way, so.
Their masters may see worth.
Is that the end of Clan Rictus? Yep.
You may look upon me. Onward for Caledor!
Yes, it is.
Where's my manners? Come. There is desperation in your pitiful eyes. That knowledge alone will be leveraged against you.
You can have it. Maybe he'll fight the Darkland Orcs for it.
The warden
Maybe, maybe
of
not.
taught speak plainly, and only of matters.
It's a
of
bit
business.
expensive, but it does have
Prince
longer term
Elthar.
benefits. Or I can wait for relations between myself and Evres to start improving. Naturally. Or I can cheat. But I don't have the influence for that. I am going to get it.
The Asher are troubled.
Now over here, get that to level 2, start getting more income, attach the noble to the army, get replenishment for all these troops. Still not feeling quite confident enough in that particular army to nah, there's no point repairing that. What's the downside really? Okay, so that was the early game, right? Turn 17. Took a lot of turns to deal with it. I did spend a lot of money. You could, an alternative to what I did, you could be far more aggressive with it. Like, it depends on what Craventail does. That's the thing. You need to get them in that good situation.
If you have
Great,
the
Clan Moors is declaring war against me. Well, I guess I know where I'm going from now on, boys. In this particular campaign. I think I'm gonna deal with the Darkland Orcs, but if Queek is heading for me, yeah, there's some stuff I need to sort out. I feel the Darkland Orcs are, well, they're gonna be a bit of a problem. I can make some deals with ogres, just take one settlement from the Darkland Orcs, give it to the ogres, hope the ogres keep them busy. Though they may end up being a major issue. Alright, well, he saved me the trouble.
They cannot withstand high magic.
Get
They
some
may
influence.
live for a price.
Bear in mind, he attacked me on this difficulty.
The oath.
So, I believe the following situation is about to happen. Queek is quite likely, and I'm gonna cancel that. But Queek is quite likely over there.
Prince of Caledor.
I feel it in the bones, so to speak.
True magic.
She's gonna level up, get Bowmaster to full. He's going to level up, get more replenished troop and weapon master. They gained a good amount of experience there, but yeah, Imrik needs to move south.
No disturbances.
You don't need to fight Queek, but it's probably in your best interest. Like, it's at least in your best interest to keep him out of Better Bay. The problem is advancing here to the south
Honor to your
is not great, to be fairly blunt about it. Let's see, Karakazul. It would take 11.
Glory awaits.
But yeah, this campaign, quite possibly, and it's not necessarily a bad plan, so to speak.
Magic
But
incures
in
fall.
this particular campaign, yeah, they're almost as powerful as I am. I'm gonna move
High Elven
this army
Archmage.
to Mount
A
Greyhag.
wise
Just
plan.
yeah.
This is absurd. I know my destination.
Son of
Huh. That is interesting. At war with Queek, at war with the Darkland Orcs. How do you deal with that situation? Well, Moors has its own issues. He's declared war on me, but I don't necessarily expect him to do a lot. The Darkland Orcs are actually a more immediate concern, to be quite frank about it. Because they do have a full fucking Zag that they're just about to ram down my throat. But you'd have to decide if you're risking your main province. Or I could move, one of the things I could do here is just send this second army here south. Keep it safe. Like, I could stack these armies together. I could move and move them against the Darkland orcs. Wipe them out. Once they're wiped out,
the chopper. What?
once that situation
No
has
glory.
been dealt with,
Only
move against
service.
Clan Moors. Those would be my principal choices. But yeah, that's pretty much the early game campaign for Imrik of Caledor. Is not a great start, is not a fun start. But if you want to play Imrik, and look, there's reasons why people want to play Imrik. It's fun to get the Dragon Doom stack that he has. Absolutely. But all the hoops you have to jump through are not necessarily the most enjoyable. And even in this situation at turn 20, my economy is just not that great. My expansion path, again, is not that great.
And what can they do?
Because the problem is, yeah, I've taken out X, Y, and Z, but what do I do after that? I could go after Gorst. I could go for the Howling Wastes, go after Gorst, deal with the Darkland Orcs, pray that Clan Moors is not going to go after me, though they're not necessarily likely to do so. Or they might show up in one turn and really do a lot of damage. I think the reason Clan Moors declared war on me is they start in this in the Misty Mountains with this region. There's also Skaven. Like, the plan to go against Clan Moors has one major snag in it. This settlement is a tier 5 settlement, I think, if I remember. And it's held by a full-on Doomstack, like a top-tier Doomstack. Taking this settlement is incredibly difficult, so you can't get the province. And even if you do take the province, let me just toggle the fog of war just to understand what I'm talking about. Yep, there he is. But he's got other issues to deal with. Like, I kind of expected that, and I also believe that, well, it's a choice. What do I do? What do you do? Like, I could, in this situation, move the army here, Bone Gulch, try and hold it, because this army is not necessarily going to be a major threat. But yeah, it is a problem. If he wipes out Karakazul, that becomes its own issue. And on and on and on. But I guess in this campaign, I'm heading for my major confrontation with Queek. So yeah, from the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. I've already dealt with one major Skaven clan, as much of a joke as Rictus is. Let's now deal with one far more powerful, and I can't exactly advance easily against them. I'm not sure if anyone holds this province or if he's advancing to take this province. By the looks of it, he might be advancing to do so. But yeah, there's plenty of issues all around with this campaign. I think he just needs a lot, like, he needs to have that choice to Confederate Caledor much earlier, and he needs to be able to decide, like, if I got the money infusion, this would be much easier. Like, you should just get the option to Confederate Caledor much earlier on, like, just take your initial province, then choose what Elfarian has to choose either money or a lot of influence, and I think that would put Imrik's campaign in a much better position. There would still be problems, but you would still at least have the tools to be able to deal with those issues instead of wasting 20 turns. Could you do these things faster? Could you ignore Clan Rictus? Yeah, there's choices there, I suppose. But where would you go? Where you go to the east? You would run into Helmangorst and you would run into Greasus, who would both declare war on you. And thing is, Rictus and Queek likely would come after you even all the same. Yeah, this is not a great campaign start. It's not the hardest campaign. Elves are good. But it isn't a good one. Anyway, Costin here signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, enable notifications, and I'll see you next time.